Calvin Shoemaker taking over at quarterback. Calvin's got to step in and take over for Austin McConnell. Cameron Williams will take over at halfback. He'll also take over at corner for a 3-year starter. Kaysen Tillman, he'll be back from injury. Kaysen was the county player of the year as a sophomore. And Storm Lipford is one of the starters coming back. Calvin's got great size. He's about 6'2". Pretty polished kid at quarterback, especially for not having a lot of time on the field last year. I guess the thing that's hurt Calvin is behind a 3-year starter. He did come up and play defensive back for us in the playoffs as a sophomore, though. So he's very athletic, pretty polished kid. So we're looking for big things out of him this year at quarterback. Big shoes to fill there, and a 3-year starter. And what actually became the winningest quarterback in school history, but in Austin McConnell. So he's got big shoes to fill, and he knows it. So he's ready to step up to the plate, I think. Cameron Williams, and Cameron, big physical kid for a tailback. Cameron's about 6'2" and goes about 190 pounds and runs real well. He passes the look test, as we say. So Cameron's a good-looking kid, hard-working kid as well, very explosive. So he's got a lot on his shoulders to try to replace a lot of that. And of course, we're not going to just put it on one kid and say try to replace all of this. But he knows, and he's got to be a huge part of that. And of course, there's a kid who didn't get a lot of time on the field last year because he's behind a 3-year starter. And it's not his fault. He didn't do anything wrong. It's just you got somebody who's been starting for 3 years and getting it done. It's kind of hard for him to get on the field. That and we got 2 kids at fullback. Tyler Jarvis. Tyler didn't play last year. Had a knee injury last year, and Tyler's number 35. Was a beast of a fullback as a sophomore on JVs. He's back and healthy now and bigger and stronger. He also plays inside linebacker for us. Between him and Alex Dyer, they'll share the load at fullback. Dyer's a little bit smaller and a little bit quicker. We have 1 underclassman up, and our sophomore that's up is Victor Williams. Victor's halfback. Victor looks to help Cameron make up for all those yards that we lost in those kids last year. Victor ran for a bazillion yards as a freshman last year on the JVs. He's an explosive youngin', runs well. They're different, and that's kind of what we're excited about, is that Cameron and Victor are different kind of backs. Cameron, if he gets an open space, he's gone. I mean, he's explosive. Victor's got a little bit more shiftiness to him. They'll be great compliments to each other, and they'll both. Obviously, Cameron's a senior, and he'll be the halfback, and then Victor will try to help. Hank will be the starting wing, and that'll be his job. He'll take over all those things that Jordan was doing for us, and Hank's the kid that's got to take that responsibility. At our place, it's that next man in kind of philosophy. We try to build the program and make sure that we've got enough kids in those places. And every year, you got different personnel to work with, but that's Hank's job. Up front offensively, we got 1 starter coming back up there, Clint Cardwell. Clint started at center for us last year, but is probably going to move to left guard. We had a rotation, and then we've already lost one. So we've already lost one before we got started, at least for the first few games. But Clint's the only starter we got coming back there. Obviously, Kaysen was a starter as a sophomore. That's kind of why we count 2 starters coming back, because he was a starter as a sophomore, and we're going to get him back this year. So Storm Lipford steps in on offense, didn't play offense last year for us. So he's going to step in on the offense side and has really been working his tail off on the mental part of it, learning the plays and getting prepared to play offense that he hasn't. That last year we had the luxury of he didn't have to. He was anchoring the defensive line, so he didn't have to. So Austin Dice goes over there as well. Austin Dice will be projected as a starter. Right now, I guess Dylan Bullard is our starting center up from the JVs. That would be Clint, but we've had to do some shuffling because of an injury. Mike Howell will eventually be there, but he played in the playoffs for us. That's actually one of the places where we feel really, really solid is on the defensive front, because we've got, Storm anchored it last year, especially after Kaysen's injury. And then, Kaysen comes back, hopefully, at full strength and a little bit angry for having missed his junior season. And so those 2 guys are really talking about a strength for us on our defensive front between Storm and Kaysen. And then we plug 2 ends in there, Austin Dice and Clint Cardwell, and then Mike Howell when he gets back with us. And we're looking, and then we got Dylan Bullard as well. We got 6-7 guys we feel real good about on defense. We lost all 4 of them, and really our inside linebackers have really got to get ready in a hurry. We lost 2 real good ones, and between Tyler and Alex and Victor, that's really why Victor Williams is up with us. Is Victor's going to be one of those linebackers, and then he's going to help on offense. And between Tyler and Alex and him, they've got to take care of the inside position. And Joey Hicks coming back to us, and we have to fill the other one with Dylan Dula coming up from the JV. So we got kids that can do it. It's just we lost 3 of them. Jordan Carlton was a 3-year starter at corner for us, and had God, he had 9 interceptions as a sophomore and 7 as a junior and about 7, I think 6 or 7 as a senior. That's Hank's job. Hank Privet right now is, Hank Privet takes over the corner, Cameron Williams takes over another corner, and Calvin Shoemaker goes as a safety. You see the pattern here. Those are the same names on offense. I mean, and that's the story of us this year. There's 24, 25 of us, and it's just the way it's going to be. It's going to be the same kids. We've got some real talented kids, but when you start talking about trying to put together those pieces, when you look at it, well, the entire secondary graduated. Well, we lost the punter, we lost the snapper, we lost both of the deep guys on the punt, we lost all 3 of the deep guys on kickoff return. It's more than
adds up.
Yeah, it really adds up when you're trying to put the pieces together, and that's where we're at. A lot of hard work, a tremendous coaching staff. I mean, I can't speak enough about our staff. And the cohesion that we have as a staff and working together, it's tremendous. And great kids. I mean, you don't go anywhere without having great kids that respond to you and work their butts off. And I know that sounds like that's cliche, but it's the truth. It's just the truth. Kids that fall into the program and do what you ask them to do, and it shows on Friday nights. There's going to be a lot of talk about tradition. There's going to be a lot of talk about the pride that has been established here, and it's their turn. Everybody gets their turn, and we've been at this spot before, where we've graduated large groups, and somebody else has got to step in. So it's their turn.